Our population and our needs, they keep increasing every year. And with each passing year, we get deeper into huge problems. We have become incorrigible. Somehow, we just can't seem to break free of our deadly addiction of burning fossil fuels. Most of our energy is through sources which cause irreparable damage to our planet and to our future. Our planet is designed to work in a delicate harmony with the environment around us. Is there a better solution to our growing energy needs? In the wilderness of the Thar Desert, an engineering marvel that can possibly be the solution of the problem of clean and green energy source. A complex engineering challenge. A challenge for a better world. Once again, India is showing world the way for a brighter future. And this is their story.
We are the suppliers of the cheapest solar power in India and in Asia and the third lowest globally.
Everybody knows India will come up. It's a matter of time. The solar industry is starting to pick up in a very big way.
In Badla, this is just start of the Thar Desert. Solar is a very short time. It has to be executed in 6 to 7 months from the day it starts. So we have to complete the engineering in time, and then we have to make the order for all the equipments. And then thirdly, we have to follow up so that timely availability is there. Then we have to only execute and commission the project.
This solar power plant will be providing clean energy to 6 million households for next 25 years. And it took less than a year to complete.
Rising Sun Energy was set up end of 2014, starting of 2015, and that is how the journey started.
We did the reverse auction. Since then, the journey practically started to a next level.
We could see in Arunath a reliable partner, a reliable and trustworthy partner who knows what he's doing. And that is important. To see the solar farm coming to fruition, to see it being built, I think that is an amazing feeling, because I've been to solar park, I've seen it when it was just shrubs and desert, and I've been to it recently where it is erected. Now the modules are going up, it's connected to the grid. I think it is an achievement.
मेरा नाम सिद्दीक है, मैं सरपंच हूँ। मैं जो पहली बार सरपंच बना था उस वक्त हमारे इस 4-5 गांव हैं, इसमें ग्राम पंचायत नूरे की बुर्ज में बडला भी है और खाखोरी है, अजेरी है, कालू खां की डाणी है, ये 4-5 गांव हैं। तो 95 से 2000 तक मैं सरपंच रहा, तो उस वक्त बहुत हमारा गांव यूँ समझो कि पीछे था, कोई कमाई वगैरह कुछ नहीं थी, डेवलप नहीं हुआ था। और अभी जो ये प्लांट आए हैं तो इसमें हमारे गांव में अच्छी खासी खुशहाली आई है, लोगों को मजदूरी मिल रही है, रोज़गार मिल रहा है, लोगों के व्हीकल जो है वो कुछ ट्रैक्टर है, गाड़ियाँ हैं, वो सारी जो है काम पे लगी हुई है। और ये जो इसमें सड़कें बन रही है, रोज़गार अच्छा मिला है, छोटे आदमी से लेकर के बड़े आदमी तक इसमें ठीक ठाक से हमें जो है इसमें रोजी रोटी का अच्छा हमारा साधन बन चुका है।
Before this, I was working with the investment bank, and that is where I got to know renewables and worked on a couple of solar energy and wind energy projects. And everyone used to appreciate my work a lot. So I thought if I can do some good work in the renewable energy space, then why work for someone else, and rather set up my own company and try out something on my own. And I always wanted to have my own venture wherein I could develop a project of this scale which can bring about changes in the life of a lot of people in many different ways. So that is when I decided that I should set up my own company, and we called it Rising Sun Energy.
How do you go about converting a piece of land covered with bushes and shrubs into a clean energy producing plant? The answer is through collaboration with local inhabitants, most of them engaged in farming and animal husbandry.
One of the biggest challenges that which we have faced and we have been able to overcome, that we have to take the local inhabitants with us. We have to somehow make them partner in the project execution. So we have to respect their sentiments because we have taken their land, and then we have to give them contracts and some kind of business opportunities and take them along. Based on their skill, we are trying to give them all kind of jobs.
As soon as the construction began, local communities living around the plant area started getting regular employment opportunities. They wholeheartedly started supporting the plant construction process. The machinery and the human resource both for the initial phase of construction was sourced locally. During the first phase of the project itself, the power plant started impacting lives of so many people in a positive way. And this was just the beginning of a long road to transformation.
राइजिंग सन वाले वो हमारे गांव की जनता को अपना हिस्सेदार मान के उस नियत से काम कर रहे हैं, जिससे हमें ये बहुत बड़ा फ़ायदा मिला है। हम 1% भी हमें जो है वो अज्ञात रख के नहीं हो रहा है, काम बहुत हमको मिल रहा है और हम काम कर रहे हैं, हम बहुत बड़े खुश हैं।
At the beginning, a hole in the ground was made for the mount. Its depth was carefully calculated by the engineers, based on the topographical report of the area. Boring machines were used for rocky surfaces. The area is prone to sandstorms and strong winds. Hence, the mount should be strong enough to last for 25 years. The quality tests ensured that the mount surpasses all the global benchmarks. And as for drilling in the sandy surface, a tractor with a robotic drilling arm was used. The plant was carefully designed, keeping in mind all the climatic wear and tear it might have to withstand in the future for next 25 years.
An interesting incident which I faced for the first time and at the early stages of the project was getting the land encroachment free. So as soon as we signed the PPA, we were allotted the land and we were about to take the possession of the land. While we deputed some workers to mark the boundary and plot the coordinates and do the contouring of the land, we got to know that there was a Qabristan of Muslims. They had illegally taken the possession of the land which was allotted to us. So when I personally went and approached them along with some local people we had hired for licensing, we were told that they would not let the plant be constructed. It is their land and when we started the research, contacted the Patwari, the Tehsildar, the DM, the SDMs of the district, we got to know that it was illegal encroachment, the land belonged to us, but graveyard in the project land was something which we were skeptical about and which we were hesitant to be a part of the project or even take over that land. So finally, after a lot of negotiations, a month and a half negotiations involving all the parties from the district magistrate to the state police to the local authorities, we managed to come to a solution where we decided to give that piece of land away.
The sentiment of the local communities living around the site area were not the only problems the team had to face. The harsh weather of the desert presented its own set of challenges.
Due to the position of the plant in Rajasthan, the hottest state in India, workers couldn't work during daytime. The removal of sand dunes was a big task, which was made even harder due to the climatic factors involved.
Depth of our piling is 2 or 2.5 meter.
The amount of steel used in the construction of the power plant is enough to build an Eiffel Tower.
The raw material of module mounting structure we have taken from Tata and Jindal. Weight of the module mounting structure is 50 tons per megawatt. Wind capacity of our MMS 50 meter per second.
To witness a solar farm of such quality coming up and at such speed is truly amazing. That means it is possible to build a quality solar farm at this price, and in fact prices are coming down even further. It is good news because when prices are competitive, then we are competing with other power sources, and that is good for solar.
I also went to China for the modules inspection at the ex-works of JA Solar and Canadian Solar. There we had shortlisted the modules randomly from the pallets and done the IR, HV and TR test.
The synchronization and coordination was totally up to me, that how coordination takes place. So I had to coordinate with the EPC contractors, with the vendors, the lenders as well.
The capacity of the modules are 320 watt peak, 330 watt peak and 325 watt peak, which are having the excellent module efficiency, that is up to 16.97%. String monitoring box, also known as SMB, which we have taken from Hensel. The total number of SMBs in one plot are 630.
Covering an area of 2.8 square kilometers, enough to fit in 375 football fields into a net of solar panels, into this giant clean energy producing unit. It was a complex engineering task. The team at Rising Sun was ready to take this challenge head on. The bigger the dream, the greater the courage required to pull it off.
We were determined to do this. We had this thing that we are going to learn all the way as the journey continues, step by step. So we had approached a lot of learned people, industry veterans, to take help by their guidance and our determination and hard work. We finally were able to come over all the hurdles, and that came our way. And today we are sitting on a 140 megawatt solar power project, which is the biggest single location project in India's biggest solar park.
How do you construct a solar farm of this size, and how do you do it within this time frame and at this cost? At 4.35 rupees, this is the most competitive bid.
The first time I went to the Bhadla site, it was a very proud moment, and it was very motivating to see all the people working there Moreover, every equipment that me and my team had placed order on, inspected, and then finally delivered at site, and everything moving on and working so smoothly, that further gave us the motivation. Being a part of the first equipment inspection, then being a part of the first financial disbursement, that thing kept me going into the project.
When in 2015, when we started coming to this area, this was just start of the Thar Desert, and the Thar Desert is proceeding towards the Jaisalmer and going towards the Pakistan. When we had to start from the nearest town, which is 50 kilometers away, we have to have our own drinking water. And even if it is less or we forget, then we have to live without water. There was not even a water available in this area. I remember then only a small tea shop was opened in a hutman. Now we can see that the same place has become such a hub of activities. It is a crossing and it is known as now Union Choraha. And this is full of activity and hustle and bustle for all 24 hours. The entire transformation has occurred in a period of 1 year. I'll call Barla Solar Park and the solar plants which are coming up in this area, they are the bloom in the desert.
Because of what the government has put in place, including providing finances to these solar parks, developers are able to bring the cost down. And because the cost is low, then this price, or rather solar power, becomes sustainable.
This scale, this kind of a project required massive investment, for which we needed a strong partner, a big brother who could come in and support us. After I met the Sunseep group and Charisma Energy that met with their people, I met up with Jinsi to partner us.
Arunav and I, we caught up in January 2015. We spoke a bit on the phone. And looking at this young gentleman, then I decided make a trip down to Delhi to see what this guy has. I flew down and we spoke a bit, and we went to several sites. And as we at that time we were looking at a 500 kilowatt rooftop system, 2 by 250 kilowatt rooftop system. As the conversation progressed, we decided that we could do more.
And we zeroed down on this 140 megawatt project in Rajasthan. That is how we actually got down to take up this project, which was a very big challenge at that point of time. It was the lowest tariff project in one of the most tough and testing conditions in a desert. Biggest challenge which I would say is to convince myself that this project can be executed. We did face a lot of other challenges, but once you are convinced yourself and you have the confidence, you can overcome all the challenges and all the difficulties which come on the way. And I think that is how I approach this. That if I fully believe in the project, it is only then my team will believe in the project, the people who invested in this project are going to believe in the project.
This unwavering faith worked its magic. The plant was completed within 1 year and is now all set to provide clean and green energy to 6 million households.
Capacity in this plant is 70 megawatt. There are 14 inverter control room, also known as ICR, and 4 unit control room, also known as UCR. ये जो UCR है ये डायरेक्ट कनेक्ट होता है मेन कंट्रोल रूम से। यहाँ पर टोटल 12 पैनल इंस्टॉल किए गए हैं।
Right from the choice of the entire electric system, we have gone to the best companies, multinational in the world, be it all transformers and ST panels are from Schneider, Crompton Greaves, and then while choosing anything, even if we talk right from our control rooms, we have made them so spacious, and we have tried to utilize the local construction techniques while making our control rooms, which has helped us in maintaining the low temperature in this highly desert area where the temperature in the summer goes very high.
We have incorporated the SCADA at our site, which monitors the output of each string and inverter so that fault can be detected and rectified easily.
We had already made some contingency plans, for example, the ordering, the inspection, the opening of the LCs or the payment terms were already pre-decided. So in case if any mishap does occur, we were already prepared for it.
Right now we are standing in control and relay panel room. Here we are using 3 control and relay panel. One is using for line controlling and other 2 is used for transformer controlling.
I think first and foremost, the moment that everybody has been waiting for is for the power plant to be connected to the grid, to have 175 megawatts up and running, injected in the grid and getting paid for it, because that's what investors want to see. What they'll be wondering is, once this plant is commissioned, once this plant is up and running, what is next? Then the question which we have to ask is, besides solar, there is so much more to do as well. There's wind, there's storage, I think there are exciting times ahead.
We will be supplying reliable green power to 6 million households every year in India for the next 25 years, and we will be improving the environment in a big way.
The solution to our growing energy need is quite simple. We just have to look up. The sun gives enough energy to our planet in an hour to power up our civilization for a year. We slowly need to shift towards greener and more eco-friendly sources to power up our quest to reach the stars. And one of those billions of stars is playing from our team. We need to learn to embrace its gifts, harness them to our benefit, utilize them fully for our growth and development. This plant serves as an example for the world to follow. If we start utilizing solar along with other renewable sources to their full potential, we will push the world towards an energy revolution. An energy revolution that would ensure brighter future for our generations to come. The dinosaurs didn't see the asteroid coming. What will be our excuse?